some of your clinics had to be offline for up to 7 days because of power, lack of water. Your team's affected, the community's affected, things like that. But did RTM help ease that sort of that revenue hit as a business owner? And maybe the answer is too
Yeah.
early to say, but did it help at all? Is it something
Yeah,
you could
no, I mean
notice?
the only therapists that made us revenue during that 7 days are our RTM therapists. I think that's probably what you're getting at. Hundred
Well, that
percent.
yeah, I mean, I didn't want to like front load the question because I also think it's a sensitive topic, but let me just overshare here a little bit. From our perspective, obviously we see all the data across all the practices that use our systems. And one of the interesting things is that, and I'm speaking in broad strokes, like, when I think about geographically where the communities were affected, the interesting thing, and I'm only hesitating because I don't want to seem insensitive to like the human cost of these storms. But what I found really interesting from a unit volume standpoint is that if you pull out RTM codes across all of our customers that are in the affected areas of those two storms, you definitely can see where the storm hit because those locations physically went offline, patients stopped going, visits stopped happening, units stopped flowing. What's really interesting is when you then bring the RTM codes back in to the query for those same locations, I think, and I might be misquoting our report here, but what we found is that when you added RTM codes back in, the total dip was something no greater than like 0.5% of overall unit volume because the RTM codes kind of made up the difference. And again, I'm going to keep putting my disclaimers on this because I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I think there's something interesting here to say that, like, in the worst case scenario of two hurricanes within 3 weeks, patients were able to continue some of their care remotely, whether they were 500 miles inland, riding out the storm or not. And clinicians were able to kind of log in and do their part of that without, regardless of whether or not the physical location that they practice from was open. And that, I think, is an interesting sort of hedge. I don't think very many people are talking about right now in terms of RTM as well, is that it allows you to keep operating even if the physical location is in trouble.
If you'd like to learn more about Strata PT and see how our EMR and RCM works, head over to stratapt.com to book a demo.